so those people, like you're talking about, those things around the world is applicable. We just had FIFA in Texas, and two of the young, there's a brother and sister who are incredible, Maddie and Colton, who work with us, and they're angels. You and Cindy will absolutely just be like, oh, because their whole family is incredible people, beautiful humanity. And these two kids stepped out there. She's 17, he's 15, and their spirit came out. And all those people whose language, English wasn't the first language, but music is, and they spoke, they sang, and in the hundreds of thousands of people connected with these kids on one show that they were asked to come back 4 more times. That's and awesome. They did this. So my point is, we're trying to do the same thing on opposite ends, and you're reinforcing those who may have had their light flicker a little bit, and those who never got a chance to shine, you're helping them blaze. And that's our gift.
Well, I think that like I said, in my grayer years, I really enjoy.
Pretty to me, baby. It looks pretty to me.
That's why I shaved my head, because my head was there's salt and pepper, but it was a whole lot more salt than pepper, so I got rid of all of it.
The thing that I think I'm getting some of the most joy out of is two things. One is, delving into storytelling in ways that I haven't before. Cindy and I have written a movie that we now have in development, and we're, hot on the search for the right director, and we're going to get this thing made, and it's pretty exciting. So, but also writing short fiction and writing songs for myself, but writing with other people, spending more time as a producer, which really means being a mentor. But I think that helping younger folks tell their story, gives me a lot of joy and makes me better at my job. It makes me better at digging around in my soul and doing what I think would really touch somebody's heart. And so I think there's a natural order to all of that. And, I'm just glad I got to be here for the ride. That's it's a gift. And I think that's the thing I want to encourage anybody who's a younger, singer, songwriter, actor, entertainer of any kind. I don't care if you're a circus juggler, or I'll tell you this, my daughter's sweetheart is a stand-up comedian, and you talk about a furnace to have to be in. That is, you were talking about comedians. I mean, that is tough. That it is, you not get where you have to go unless you bomb. They have to go out and bomb in order to get better. It's like, I only had to bomb in front of, my junior high school friends in somebody's backyard. That was, that was not a rough crowd, man. but the Comedy Store in Los Angeles is tough, let me tell you, and or Zanies in Nashville. I mean, and I always love talking to those guys that every now and then you get asked to be on TV and you talk to one of those guys. It's like, oh, they all know about Zanies in Nashville, man, because they all cut their teeth there,
Zanies is aside from the comedians, man, tell me how often you've been able to go kick it with your comedian friends. You'll see some of the coolest musicians.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unbelievable. I when I hanging out with Conan O'Brien and realizing that he's a guitar player and a guitar nut.
Yes.
Is he good?
Yeah. Oh no, he's a pretty good player, but he probably owns like, I don't know, 100, but I had a J100 back in the day. I still have it. It's relegated to the studio these days because it got so beat up, but it sounds so great. That's why I don't want to take it on the road anymore, because it's just beat up just enough to sound really great in the studio, But it had some custom-made fret markers that I had put on it by the guys at Gibson, and he'd never seen a guitar that looked like that. I was like, "What is that? Can I play?" "Yeah, here, man, play it." And I told him the story, and it's like he immediately went into total guitar nerd land. And Rich Hall, who was from Saturday Night Live, came to one of my gigs in London because he's married to a Brit and had moved over there, and he told story after story of he used Nashville as one of his hubs back in the day. Those guys will have a hub for 2 or 3 months. And Jay
Leno?
the same thing. Yeah, Jay Leno said the same thing. He was like, asked all about, is Arnold still open? I said, "Oh yeah, man, it's still open, still down there right by the, and so it is fun when you get to hang with someone who's from a different genre and who just, is going to make you laugh, just because they're such cut-ups. And so I do like when I get to hang out with someone who's been successful in another genre, and you can always learn something from them. It's a lot of fun.
Well,
And also lived a certain, you've climbed and you've taken the hits through the climb.
Oh yeah,
That's amazing.
sure. Yeah, they've had to struggle the same way that you had to struggle. Or I tell people all the time, it's like, look, if you make any kind of a living in the arts, whether you're a painter, a dancer, a comedian, whatever it is that you do, if you make any kind of a living in the arts, like you're making a school teacher salary, which, by the way, that should be like CEO level entertainment, but I digress. You make a school teacher salary, and you can put a roof over your head and have health insurance. You're as successful as any CEO of any major corporation making way too many millions, because your job is so much harder than theirs. It's just so much harder than theirs. And
We said societally speaking, like you were, what you're talking about, school teachers, private in the military, and a senator should all be making the same wage, salary. And if they're not, one of them needs, two of them need to come up, or one of them needs to come down.
I'm with you on that.
That's one thing. I had something else to give you before we got. Remember, you were talking about the writer credits and stuff.
Oh yeah.
I did a little recon. Can't see my hands. I jumped on here and I looked up one of my tracks because that was one I knew just to go off of really quick. Remember that song, rodeo song, Cowboy Up?
Oh yeah.
Okay, well, Chat GTP and Street Factory says it was me and Chris Ledoux that wrote it, and it was Matt Rossi.
Right.
In Connecticut. So yes, so that proof that the man knows what he's
Well, they were half right.
Yeah,
They were 50-50 on that one.
yeah. So I didn't even know that, Radney. I don't look at anything. I just kind of lumber through and people call and tell me. So I just did that out of curiosity, and you nailed. I had no idea.
Oh yeah, they'll get it wrong. Yeah.
One thing I've learned about Chat GPT, people will trust it when they say what they want. But when Chat tells them stuff they don't like, dude, Chat's full of crap. You don't know what he's talking about. But I mean, I can understand your situation when you were laying there and you're Chat GPTing, because you got all these things going on in your head. The only thing the only place you went wrong was probably doing it in the first place, because he could make you worry more than what it was.
Oh yeah, and I think one of the things, what it has, looking back on any of it, any of the things that are a hardship that we survive, you can either get mad about it, or you can decide that that you got some kind of grace that somebody else didn't, and that just makes you fortunate. And so I think I'm a lot happier guy and a lot better guy if I just sit in that grace of God that says, I'm still here.
For the last 6 years, I've been living that. I lost my ability to be able to walk after being able to be a good, provided for the family for 50 years. I could have given up, blamed God, blamed this and that, but instead of that, I did like you said, I flipped it around, using it to maybe encourage someone else. You know, just because you can't walk, you can't do this. Somebody's always got it worse than you, no matter how bad you think you got it. That is the way I got to look at it. I mean, I look at it as this is God's plan. I respect it and I accept. That's the two key words: accept and respect. And it gets me through every single day, man. Him and Ryano is what makes me keep rolling every day.
That's awesome, man. I tell you that just because of this little hiccup, I have had I'm a fisherman, and I've been in love with fly fishing for the last 30 some odd years of my life, but I always loved it, even as a kid, fishing. And I said, this is sort of one of those things where you realize it's like, well, I'm a little older, and I was like, so when you're wading in a river, there are things at 60 something that you're going to go, I believe that hole over there is not going to get fished today because it's just a little too deep and a little too rapid for me to be able to deal with. But there's all that water that's all over here on the other side that's just as fishable and just as full of fish. And so it's the realization that you just got different rivers to fish. You got choices that you get to make, and they're just different. They're different than the ones you would have made at 20 or at 30 or at 40 or at 50. And we're always going to have different choices in front of us. And so you've been given different rivers to cross, man.
I'm thankful for the people who have stood beside me and supported me. And, that a year ago, I would have never thought I'd been sitting here with Radney Foster.
Right.
I've met so many people over the last 6 months through Ryano and just this show that we're doing. I mean, I'm talking about my heroes growing up. Sure. I mean, love me some Deborah Allen, loved me some Leon Everett. Yeah. Love those folks. Got them on the show. I mean, we had John Ford Coley yesterday.
Wow.
I mean, the list is, and we've got more coming. And it's like, if you would have told me, hey, Rob, a year from now, this is what's going to be going on, I'd have been like, yeah, whatever. But it's about persevering and continuing to just to keep on going.
Man, Rob, that's such an inspiration, man. I'm glad I did not expect that conversation today, and I'm really glad we had it. Man, that's awesome.
Well,
that's what this is about. That's what this is about. Music is. I just was texting your beautiful wife, by the way, and I was telling her this whole thing is about humanity and the beauty and connecting all of it. That's what this whole thing was created for, Radney.
That's awesome.
And the universal language of music. And we go out to 192 countries through the swamp rolling out. So this isn't just going to a couple of co-ops. This is going out.
We'll probably be on 83 or 84 stations on the week that we run this show.
Oh, well, that's awesome.
Well, now that we're picked up, though, with Cashbox and our partnership with Cashbox, sure. He and I are doing the Cashbox Indie Top 20 Countdown for the indie country. Awesome. And so now that we're doing that, we have other stations now coming that are looking at the Uncle Show and wanting to add the Uncle Show. I just got a call this morning, which I got to get with Rob on, for a huge station in Houston.
Awesome.
They want the Uncle Show and they want the indie, Cashbox Indie Country Countdown. So all of this and everything that you're doing now, I mean, you're an OG for indie. Your music, that's nowadays. That's the thing, because these guys don't understand. All amateurs are indie, but not every indie is an amateur. And this is a beautiful time where the people who had the top 40 successes, once they own everything.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I tell people all the time. I run a family business. My kids help Guitar Tech and pack merch and sell it. And my wife is my manager. It's a family business, and it couldn't get more indie than that, and we have a lot of fun doing it,
I liked the ease of being able to get you on the show because it was in house. I mean, I think I went to Radney Foster or whatever. It got forwarded. Cindy started corresponding back and forth. I mean, it is so hard nowadays, even with folks that, from the 80s and the 90s, they're on all these talent agencies, and it's hard to get a hold of these folks. We're working on it,
sure.
and we're making some progress, but, more so than anything, it's like a word of mouth. The dude's like, yeah, don't worry about it. I'll hook it up. And next thing you know, I mean, we've got somebody else on that we didn't expect to have.
Oh, that's cool. Oh, yeah.
But man, I tell you what, again, it's been an honor and it's been a privilege to have you on. I've been looking forward to this one for a month. The way we normally do this is we ask you to come back in 90 days. Just kind of touch base. At that point, I'd like to bring you back because I'd like you to tell me that you kicked Sepsis' butt and you're back on the road and you're rocking and rolling again, which is what we want to hear. If you're willing to do that, I'll get with Cindy in, a couple months and set it back up.
This has been great, guys. Thanks so much for having me. It's been lovely. And, I'd love to have another conversation. It'd be great.
Ryano,
yeah, I got a lot. I mean, but I'm going to whittle it in. I love this guy, and he is a king. And I'm so proud to have you on. You're amazing, incredible wife. I adore her. You guys, and I said this to John Ford when we talked, and I'm saying this to Radney Foster. There would have never been a me if it wasn't for you.
Oh man, bless your heart. Thank you so much.
And I'm honored. I'm honored to know you on and off camera, and I'm honored to have reconnected. And all those losses that we talked about before, parents, children, and all that. Me and Melissa, we had all those, and we had all those in a really close period of time. That as you know, that's why I left, and I had to rediscover what I was without the distractions. I had to rediscover what I was as an individual human being. And then I had, at that point, knowing what really matters, what is the real purpose, who am I really, not the marketing person spin. That's when, now that I have that for me personally, I want to reconnect with you and those like you, and people that I either met just at an award show or people that I had the opportunity to have a suds and sit where, funny, I won't get into it, but this guy's as real as it gets. This man is amazing. And he's one of the great national treasures of the United States as a true poet. And I'm so grateful for what little bit of time that I have had with you, and I want to make some more. I reached out to Cindy about that. So
that'd be awesome, man. I really thank you guys so much, man. It's been a joy.
Today was my birthday present. You were my birthday present. Thank you. No, today was my birthday, and you.
Happy birthday, man! I didn't realize that. That's great.
It was, and this was a big deal. Rob asked me about it, and I was like, "Dude, this is like the deal." So. Thank you, brother.
Awesome. Oh, well, cool, man. Thanks so much, guys. And let's set it up. We'll do it again. Radney,
best of luck, my friend. Hey, before we go, we always end off the interview with a song or two of your choosings. What exemplifies what you want, your message, and we'll play whatever song it is you want to play.
Okay. One song or two.
We can go with 2 if you want.
3. Give me 3.
I can't.
All right. Let's play by me. Let's play the old Foster and Lloyd song that we wrote with Guy Clark called Fair Shake.
Okay.
Which was a hit for me and Foster and Lloyd. And then we're going to move forward. And we're going to play a song about a black cowboy who is a real historical character that I wrote with the great Alice Randall, who now teaches African American studies and English literature at Vanderbilt University. She's pretty smart for a songwriter, and called "Went for a Ride" off of my solo record, and then play a love song, play "Raining on Sunday," and ended up getting cut by Keith, but you can play my version of it, and that would be a real joy, because I think that's three different sides of me and three different sides of storytelling, and it's pretty close to a whole lot of things that we talked about today.
So what we're going to do is the interview will be cut in half. So at the end of hour number one, I'll play one, and at the end of not hour number one, but segment one, I'll play one, and at the end of segment two, I'll play the other two.
Okay, awesome. That'd be great, man. I love that.
Radney, thank you so much. An honor and a privilege to have you with us.
Guys, thank y'all, man. It's been a real joy. Peace,
Radney
man.
Foster right here on The Uncle's Show.